Thanks for, waiting for me. Sorry, I see every time I use this sucker, something's different. So working out the kinks, and then it'll get boring. Then I'll have to mix it up and, and do something. But actually, I want to get back and explain more about Google and trying to get people to get the help they really need. I mean, this is what really upsets me about information nowadays. Everybody thinks they have information so easily at their fingertips, and it's all right there because the internet has a billion websites, and everybody thinks they have the power. But the search engines, Google and these other people, Bing and Yahoo, you get caught into that, maze, and you never get out before you buy something. See, it's all set up for people buying something, and there's other ways to get around it. I mean, Google is good. I mean, I have to admit, man, they're doing a good job, but also their main job in life is making money, right? So you have to be aware of that and be able just to use it when it makes sense, okay? That's the important thing. I like everything. If you have a hammer, you don't use a hammer for every problem. You use it when there really is a hammer problem. And that's our lawyers are the same way. They see a legal problem everywhere. But they only should be used when it's important. And here, in getting information and help from the government, or just help from anywhere, people think they could go on Google and get it, and you can't. Because, whatever you put in for getting help, unless you know the exact name to put in there that provides the help that you need and won't charge you too much and everything, you're just going to get hit with everybody who has money to try to get your money. And that's most people in America, right? Because they're all trying to get money from somebody else. So how do you get around that? Okay, now that's what I'm trying to do, is show people how to get around these things. Okay, so use Google when you have, and particularly if you know the exact thing to look for. When you don't, you're looking for help to do something, then you're going to run into all things that are on. Now, here's one site I want to talk about today. It's 211.org. It's one of the most amazing things, that is available, and really, like, on the internet. What's the greatest thing about that? It's also a place you could call. When you try to use Google, you can never call them, right? But this, and you could use it anywhere in the country, and it works for almost like 95% of the country, is set up for this 211. And see, what's in that 211.org is only people who give you money and help for free. That's all that's in there. So you're not going to get tied up with people trying to sell you something or upsell or anything like that. Any kind of problem you have. And so that's where to start. And if it doesn't, if that doesn't help you for some reason, what to do is contact the people there that are close, because then they'll tell you, hey, who may have the help. That's another thing, how you use it, how you get help that you need in the country, is that ask for people who are already in the business. In other words, if you have debt problems and you haven't, been in debt before, so you don't know the system, and you go on the internet and put in debt, and you get 300 million websites. Okay. Now you go to 211. And put the debt problem in there, and you'll get maybe 20 or 30 in there. Now, when you use 211, it's a little tricky until you get to know the 211 where your area is. So if you put a 211 in there and you don't get anything, or you don't think it's worthwhile or something like that, call. Just pick up any phone you have and call 211 wherever you are. You'll get some, a researcher who works that database every minute of their waking hour, probably. So that's what you want to do. So say, hey, I tried to find this, I didn't. They'll either help you right over the phone or tell you how you screwed up putting it in. And it's natural. Man, look at, I've done this phone 3 times trying to do this video, and I still screw it up, right? You have to allow for screw-ups. Nothing works right. And the older I get, the more I understand that. But that's the thing. Allow for screw-ups. And then rely on people. That's the name of the game. Not mountains of printouts and database and websites. No, it's people. So you call that 211. Hey, who in your area? Because this is a local person, right? Who manages the database, knows the nonprofits and government offices that are in there, and could point you, or whatever. Now, and again, if that doesn't work, you call somebody in the database that's related, because it's really by category. You could see in the beginning of the database that'll be groups of things like for housing, health, legal. You could call legal problems for free. Now, if you put it, hear those lawyers on the phone, on the internet or on the radio or TV, you have a phone, you have a lawyer, Oh, but these lawyers are free. These are nonprofit organizations that provide that help. There's so much free legal help. It's terrific. But you just have to know how to use the system. And the system really isn't Google. Google tries to keep track of all this stuff, but their main job is keeping money, making money. So you have to know how to use Google, when to use Google or Bing or Yahoo, whenever. And they're not the ultimate source of anything. And that's the important thing about it. So treatment clinics, like you have a friend that needs drug rehabilitation or alcoholism or something, or just depression. Where do you get that kind of help? You could call 211, right? And you won't get some professional service because they're going to charge you something that you're going to hawk your house for. No, you don't. These are free organizations. They're sliding scale, depending on how much income you have, how much they'll charge you. That's what you want to find. And that's right. You have a lot of money. Okay, don't use this. But I think you should, because man, you probably get better. These are people in it for their heart. People who do these kinds of services and work, they're more in it for their heart than trying to build up cash for a boat or retire on the south of France or whatever, which to me sounds like a boring way to live. So if you have trouble, like job training, you can go there. Man, you see these ads on everywhere that, come to this school and we'll get you money. Yeah, you're going to get a student loan that's going to be hanging around your neck for whenever, and probably get a lousy job even if you got the training or whatever. No, you go to 211 and find job training. Man, there's so many, nonprofits that give out job training. I interviewed one here in town that if you want to be in cybersecurity, they're hiring so many people now. They'll train you like for 3, 5, 6 months or whatever, and you get out of there without even a college or high school diploma, and you can be making 40, 50 grand a year. That's astounding to me. That's better than Starbucks, right? And they have all college degree people doing this, And that's why, these kinds of things. But there won't be advertisement and late night TV. No, because they're getting, grant money to do this and doing it for a very, as tight a budget as they can, so they can keep doing it. So emergency money. Man, don't you know, oh my God, my car is ruined. I can't get to work tomorrow. Or whatever, or I need a rent payment. I thought it was going to come in. So what do you do? That's another thing you could do in there. And see, when you use that's another thing is be sure you call them, because it's so easy to put in the wrong number. The wrong name or the wrong keyword. Like you say, you want a grant. Well, you don't use the word grant. Because most of the people are calling it financial assistance. And so if you put in a grant for, paying your bills or something, you get probably nothing, because none of them say grants. They don't look at it that way. It's not. They're helping with people in financial trouble. And they give away the money. You don't have to pay it back. But that's it. So that's why it's what is the problem most of us have is what we believe up here. We think this is reality, but it ain't. The world is bigger than what the hell we have in our head. And so that's why the objective is to get out there and start trying stuff and see what reality really is. And it's different from what you think. It's different what somebody else thinks, because they're living around in some dream world or something. You go out and find it yourself. And this is a way to do it without costing money. What could be better than that? And that's what I think survival is learning the tools in life. If we all lived in the jungle and had to go out and kill animals to live and everything, we'd figure that out, right? Well, now we're that way again. It's just there are new tools we have to learn how to survive in this economy. It's not learning the old stuff. The stuff you learn in school won't work anymore anyway. So you got to go out and you can learn it yourself. And that's the important thing, is teaching yourself through trial and error, because what works for you will work for different other people. Or how about like student debt? Everybody's got student debt, man. And I get things on the internet all the time about student debt. Forget these people, man. They just want money from you. I drilled the guy. I called back one of these numbers I got in my email and asked him, and he was making $200 to tell me about a government program. Don't do that. No, go to 211 and talk about home repairs. Man, you call up some contractor, what to write. They're going to get you a lot. Well, there's nonprofit organizations or government grants for home repairs. Now, so home repairs, you can't make a lot of money to get the grants. Or if they give a loan, it's very low interest or zero interest rate and things like that. So it's the best deal. Find out if there's an income requirement and if you match that. But don't forget the income requirements. Man, I'm doing a report now for a woman in Cincinnati, about paying her bills. And the income requirements goes up to $40,000, $50,000. They call you, needy, I thought that was middle class, but you just don't know the answers, until you ask. Don't believe what anybody else until you go to the horse's mouth and ask them. That's the only way you get the true answer. Man, we all think we know everything in the world, and we really don't. We're all struggling. We're all guessing. So whatever you want to do, just go out and find from the horse's mouth and do a lot of work yourself. And that's the problem. If you go into Google and try to do the work, man, you just get tied up in a circle going nowhere and winding up with people who want to charge you a lot of money, and you either say, oh, God, I'll give you the money, okay, or you'll say it can't be done. See, and that's what I'm trying to stop. People from believing that it can't be done, because it can, but it's not in the places you think about it. Or like help with reverse mortgages or paying your rent. We talked about that, right? So it's there, and that's what people don't realize it's there. What else I wanted to talk about? There's just so much out there that you don't know about, because the things you know about are the people who are trying to get your money because they have advertising money to let you know about it. So the real good stuff that you don't know about it, because those people don't have advertising money. So you have to do some work to find them. And remember, when you're searching around, forget about .com. Anything website you're going to .com, put aside. Maybe there's a few real good ones or whatever that can help you. But, to cut through the noise, start with the .org, O-R-G, or the .govs. See, and that's what all 211 is about. .orgs and .govs, and if you don't realize it, I'm doing custom reports now, too, to help people. Because if you don't have the energy or time and want me to do it for you, I do it. It's leskotutor.com, and we have reports off the shelf. I just did one actually on this. Now I have an ebook, a video ebook that explains this whole process, how to not get screwed when you're trying to find help, and how to use the system and what's out there, and that's available on Lesko. Leskotutor.com. I forget what that. See, you get an old guy running in a circle. I forget a lot of stuff nowadays, but it's fun. It keeps me young. What else? Oh, what's another thing about 211? You could help a friend anywhere in this country. A friend calls you up, you live in Pittsburgh, and they're in Arizona, and they say, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got a hole in the roof or don't know what to do, and they're overwhelmed. Because, see, when you're in need, you need help. You don't have the mental wherewithal to really fight your own battles sometimes. So if you know a friend, that's in trouble, you could help them fight the battle. If you go on Google, or just go 211.org, put in their zip code or their city, and you could start finding the people where they live to help them. So then you could contact them and say, hey, I just talked to this person. They help you with this kind of stuff. So that's what it is. We all need help, particularly when we're beat up a little or weak. It's hard to help ourselves that time. And that's what we're here for, to help other people do that. So that's what 211 allows you to do, is help people. Grandma down in Florida, right? I remember my mom, she wanted a divorce from my father. So I called them up down there and found free legal help for seniors. Yeah. So I called my mom back. I said, here, okay, you really want to, tired of hearing her bitch and moan about it. And then she yelled at me so much. And that's when I learned about he said, she said. You know, when women complain, they really just want to vent. You know, vent. Men complain, well, we're going to do something, right? We'll fix it. She didn't want to fix it. She just wanted to complain. But I was able to find her free help, you know, to do that. So thanks for putting up with me. Okay, that's 211.org. My website, you need help with researching anything, or the pre-package like this. I have a free pre-package on how to research better than Google. Is a short, cheap report to do that, or custom research if you're interested in solving a problem. I'm doing a lot now for housing. I mean, I could go into a city and find you 100, 150 programs to buy or fix up or be in the house flipping business or something. I'm doing a lot of that. And that's, you could find it yourself. I mean, it's digging ditches. I just know how to do it better, faster, probably. But, the more you do yourself, the stronger you will get, I believe. And I'm about to see... Sorry, I guess it doesn't want me to do this anymore. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'll put this up with any of the websites I mentioned, so it's on the video. So I'll do another video and put this up on Facebook. So tell your friends, share with me. This is the first time I really use it. I've had a Facebook account for 10 years or something. I've never really used it. And now, but boy, I love doing video, and so it's a great place to do video. Let your friends know I'm doing this, and have them go to facebook.com/Matthew Lesko, and they can see all the videos I've done so far. Okay? Thanks.